said something that implied it, and my dad wanted confirmation. Hugh was terrified and had answered that he was bisexual in the hopes of staving off a lethal response. Although my brother got him to put the gun down, our father promptly kicked him out of the house and even stopped paying for his college tuition. He also took back the car he had bought him as an early college graduation present and gave it to me to take to Wesleyan. During the fall of my sophomore year, my family had gone to the proceedings against my father to show support. Everyone but me, that is. I felt bad for not going, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it, because deep down, I believed that he was guilty. For some reason, despite the lack of evidence and the fact that he was my own father, I didn't doubt he would do something like that. I didn't like to think about it or talk about it. I still don't. But it had to do with the way I'd seen him looking at and acting around young girls all throughout my childhood, including me. So my mother and siblings went to the proceedings without me, and they reported back that there was a tape recording of my father asking the girl to give him a blowjob. Even if the act didn't actually happen, he had wanted it to. That was bad enough, in my opinion. After the trial, things at home only got worse when Hugh outed me as a lesbian during one of Dad's "Why can't you be more like Hida" tirades. Since we were little kids, and long before the gun to the head incident, our father had been reading Hugh the riot act for being a maricón, which is Spanish for faggot, as well as for not being as smart or accomplished as me. Considering all the torment that Hugh had endured, I ultimately couldn't blame him for snapping and telling our dad I'm gay too, even if it did fuck up my life. Unsurprisingly, once my dad knew I was a lesbian, he didn't want to pay for my college tuition either, especially with all the money he had been spending trying to get his medical license back. Having to drop out of college because I no longer had the funds to pay for it left me in such a state of despair that I didn't even try to convince my father to change his mind. In fact, cutting all ties with him seemed like a great idea to me, despite the problems it would cause. "I'm so glad you made it," Jade says when she opens the door, the late afternoon sun streaming in behind her. It catches the red in her long, disheveled hair and makes it glow like fire. Jade's actually a brunette, but as usual, her hair's dyed some more interesting color. It was blonde when we first met, which made her mild resemblance to Madonna a lot more obvious. Jade's face was a little longer and tanner, but similarly heart-shaped, with luminous skin, big eyes, Sicilian brown in Jade's case, and a prominent beauty mark above her lip. There are plants on every possible surface of her apartment, a Persian rug over the hardwood floors, a pillow-covered couch, and a big wooden coffee table buried under a stack of art books. 2 tall living room windows overlook a tree-filled courtyard, heat steaming up between them from one of those old metal radiators that keep New York apartments so cozy. "Wow, this is so cute," I gush. "You're cute," she quips. "The girls are going to be fighting over you tonight." "Yeah, I wish," I laugh. The plan is to eat here and then go dancing at a club. Jade knows I've been bummed after having to drop out of Wesleyan, and she thinks it'll cheer me up. She's right that I need it, the fun and the potential for romance and sex. But what would really cheer me up is a full scholarship to an equally prestigious university. After we finish eating and getting ready, we walk across town and stop in at the Tunnel, a gay bar where my brother, Hugh, bartends. It's a narrow, dimly lit dive of a bar that lives up to its name. "Hey, you two!" Hugh yells over the music when Jade and I step up to the bar. "It's so good to see you! What'll it be?" Jade and I decide to do shots so we can get a good free buzz before making our way over to the World, which is hosting a lesbian night tonight. We have 2 rounds. I guess Jade can handle her booze much better than I can, though, because I remember only a few moments from the rest of the night, whereas she remembers all of it. The first thing I remember is getting to the